Hi guys, just looking at another recording, trying to make it a little bit different this time. This is a FullRing game, which should mean that we've got to play a lot more, well, a lot tighter than we did playing the 6 max game. We got an interesting hand here straight away. I got jacks under the gun. Sorry, I've got jacks to an under the gun raise, and it's a decent size under the gun raise as well. I think I've got to put in the 3-bet with jacks. Let's turn this on. Yeah, like I said, I think I've got to put in the 3-bet with jacks. He's called, and we've got like calls, and we've got a great flop for jacks there. I'm going to bet out. I'm going to bet out $3. Do that. He could have queens, but I think that's the only hand that... Okay, well, strange enough I'm calling that. I don't think he's got a 2, I'm probably ahead of that. And... okay, yeah, there's a king. He can have ace king there. I think I've got to shove. And... yeah, he mucks. Do I have to shove there? If an undercard to the king comes, then... sorry, I had jacks, not kings. If an undercard to the jacks king, then I think I've got to shove. But there could be some value in just checking it and hoping that he'll bluff. But I don't know, I don't think there's too many kings in my range there. I don't think there's a whole lot of kings in his range either. So it's actually quite difficult. Like I said, compared to the last video I made, I'm going to be having to make a lot more folds on this table because the early seats you just can't really, you just can't really get too busy. There's that many more cards out there. I know I'm stating the obvious a little bit there, but it's the sort of thing that you have to take into account. Just waiting for... I'm not sure what I was waiting for actually. Just to see if I get folded to. Heads-up display is working again, which is fortunate. Needless to say, yeah, folding that. I know it's a button raise, but there was a limp in as well. And we've got ace king suited. Nice hand. So I'm going to raise it up. There we go. And Pac-Man. And we'll take down the blinds. Quite easy to do that in this game. Okay, we've got Queen 2 here on the button. I'm pretty much doing the same thing on the button. I will try to steal if it folds to me on the button. And also the cutoff. A lot of the earlier positions though, some of the hands that I would try to play in the 6 max game, I will fold a lot more from the earlier positions. You can probably already see that I've had to change the style quite a bit. Okay, so we've got an interesting hand here. We've got ace queen in the big blind. So it's folded to later position. So I've probably got the best hand here, but I'm going to be out of position post flop. I'm going to raise it up anyway because that can happen to start with. I was raising it because I've got the best hand and I can dominate him a lot post flop. He can have worse aces and I can win a nice pot of an ace if an ace comes down there. I think he's pretty much never got ace king. Yeah, we got king 10 here to a button raise. I can call that, and let's see that flop. He checks. I'll bet out. I've got, yeah, I can steal the pot a lot there, and I've got equity. I can hit another 10, or I can hit my gut shot. Okay, we sold that. Then we get 9-7 on the button. Again, I'll just wait and see if it is going to fold to me, because I am going to raise. If it does, there we go. 9-7 isn't a bad hand anyway. You can flop quite a few nice little hands with that. 3-Jack is obviously a poor hand, as is King 5. 8-9 from early position. Again, I'm quite happy to raise that at 6 max from the cut-off and the button. Not so good full ring. So we'll just keep folding. It's also a lot easier to keep up with the blinds at full ring because you're in the blinds so rarely. We'll see what happens to our 10-4. Oh look, we won. That's good. Obviously I would just have folded if I get a raise. Usual small blind tactic here. If it folds to me, I would raise. King 3 suited. That's probably good. Well, that is good for a raise from the cutoff. A suited king. Yeah, I'd normally raise that. Obviously, when someone raises in front of me, I'd have to go away. And again, on the button, we've got a 7 and a 5. They're a little bit connected. We've got no real hands on the blinds there. A 6-5. I will play the secret connectors. I do like to play those hands. You can make lots of good hands on the flop. So we're just gonna take it down, which is good. I never too worried about taking it down 3. And yeah, we'll just keep folding. Jack and a king. Again, from the first 3 positions, I'm not playing that. If that was later position, I'd absolutely be playing it. Okay, we got 10s here. Interesting little hand. 10s can be a good hand. Folds to me, good. So then we got king high in the small blind. So again, we're looking to see if this folds around, and it doesn't. But what I'm doing by trying to maintain this feeling is just making sure that my red line moves up nicely. I mean, it will be at the moment because everything I've won at this has been won without showdown, apart from the first hand where I had the jacks, which is obviously where I'm about $9 up. The jacks are where I got most of it. Interesting flop this. Difficult to... There is a flush draw, there's a jack. Not sure if the c-bet is actually good or bad there, if I'm honest. It's close, so I would always err on the side of betting rather than not betting. The king could be a scare card for him. If he had a jack, maybe. It changes the board a bit. So yeah, but he calls, and now I've got to give up. So I'll just check that. He checks behind, and he, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. He had the flush draw and a couple of overcards. Quite surprised he didn't raise the flop there, to be honest. Okay, there you go. He hits his king on the turn, so yeah, he played that well. No problem with that. We fold that. King 3, that's a fold. And that's again a fold from the earlier position. Yeah, just waiting again for another nice hand here. We've got one with the kings. It would be nice to get a raise ahead of us. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to put in the 3-bet. There it is. And yeah, okay, he folds, which again we would like to match him with our kings, but you're never that worried about taking down the pot pre-flop. Okay, you always win that. You always win a pot where everyone else folds. So again, just waiting, folding that. Ace Jack. This will be a raise certainly once it's folded to us. If it didn't fold to us, it would be an interesting kind of hand. The suited Bowen. I actually quite like that hand. I'm going to raise it because I like the hand. That's probably not the best reason there's ever been to put in a raise, but yeah, you know, I bet I've probably got the best hand there, and I took it down, which again is fine. I think checking there just complicates it. Just complicates the playing of the hand too much. Okay, we got 10-9. Again, just have a quick look at something there. So that's a fold. And we got 7-8 seated. A raise. He calls. I probably see bet. I see bet most ace high flops. Yeah, that you're going to get that through quite a lot. Okay, we've got queen 2. Again, we'll just raise if it folds to me. Heads up display stopped working again. So just stop it and restart it. I upgraded Poker Tracker yesterday, and since then the heads up display does seem to be a bit hit and miss. Jack 5, we've got an all in there. Obviously we fold to it. And we've got another King 5. So we're on the button. So we will play the position if we get the chance. Just checking something on Poker Tracker again as to what's going on with it. I am going to have to upgrade the Poker Tracker to Poker Tracker 4, I think. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I'm just going to play a few more hands and bring this video to an end. Done well mainly based on jacks that I had early on. Just clicking on to Poker Tracker, just refresh that. Yeah, winning $8.24. So we've got the pocket fours here. Now this is an interesting spot because some people would say that you've potentially got reverse implied odds here. I'm not sure if that is the case or not, but yeah, just bringing the session to an end. Good little session. Won about $8, which is always nice. I'll post a video on the forum and you can let me know what you think. Very interesting little session, I think. Cheers, guys.